My talk is that it takes a village to raise a child, and I believe everybody in this room has the capacity to make a life-changing difference. How do I know? I know because the village reared me. When I was 6 weeks old, my biological father was killed in a car crash, and my mummy, Kathleen, was left with my sister and I. My sister was 1. My mummy went on to meet this wonderful man, our hero, the greatest man that Anya and I ever knew. Husband not happy about it, but definitely the greatest man. And my mummy and Harry met, and then she was diagnosed with cancer, and then she died. And when she died, she made him promise that he would look after us. And she said, I want you to stay. I want the girls to stay with you, and I want them to stay with their Aunt Colette. So we had an aunt. She wasn't really an aunt, but we thought she was an aunt, and my mummy wanted us to stay with them. But he was adamant to her memory that we would be okay. So in order to make sure we were okay, he did 2 very important things. And the first thing was he galvanized as many of his friends that he could, and he got them to buy into looking after me and Anya. So we had the widest circle of aunts and uncles of anybody in Belfast. And we were nurtured and well looked after. And he also believed in the power of education. He felt that education would be the passport for Anya and I to a better life. And he thought if anything happened to him, if he got us educated, then we'd be all right, and that would be his job done. He also had a great love for women. And he went on years later to meet a wonderful woman called Kathy. And my mummy would have supported it. On her dying bed, she said that she would encourage it. And he met Kathy, and along came 5 more blonde bombshells, all with their unique traits and abilities. So we were lucky. We got another 5 sisters. And my daddy said, you know what, in this house, there's no half-sisters. You're all my daughters. So meanwhile, when this was going on, because 1 was 6 and 5 and 4 and 3 and no TV in the house, and this was going on, and I then started school, and I started the secondary school, and I met this teacher, and she didn't even teach me. And I used to go to her basketball club, and I was like a bad penny. I just kept going and going. I'm sure she was thinking. And then one day she said to me, I think you're getting really good at this. And I was like, really? And she was like, yeah. And I was thinking, oh, here beats me. So she said, I think you should maybe go to a club outside. I was like, a club outside? I was from the West, club outside, lots of different connotations. I was like, a club outside? And she was like, no, like a basketball club in Maysfield. So went down to the basketball club in Maysfield, and there was a gentleman there, a coach called Barney, and his wife was a manager called Rosie, and they were from Bangor. I'd never been to Bangor. I didn't know where Bangor was. But they were the nicest, most genuine people that I'd ever met. And along with the basketball community, I was exposed then to people from different cultures, different backgrounds, different social status, different parts of Ireland they were from, and they started to see things in me that I didn't see in myself. And they started saying things like, you need to go to Jordanstown, you'd love PE. And I was like, Jordanstown? And they're like, yeah, you need to go to Jordanstown. And I was thinking, I want to go to Jordanstown. So then I passed all my GCSEs apart from my maths. Anybody else hate maths, please? F, E, D. And then the year I got a place in Jordanstown. I passed my maths, couldn't believe it. Passed my maths, got a place in Jordanstown, got on the Irish team that year. So I was living my best life. And then I didn't get in. I couldn't believe it. I didn't get into Jordanstown. And the village, which was a basketball club at the time, kept saying, do you know what, Maire, just keep phoning and torturing them. And I was like, is that what you do? And they're like, yeah, just keep phoning them and torturing them. And if you phone and torture them, then they'll think that you're really, really keen. So I phoned and tortured them, and I still never get in. And I started a new job, and 2 weeks into the job, they phoned and said somebody's dropped out. I was like, yeah. So got into Jordanstown, and then I sort of discovered nightlife and a couple of the bars and student life, and So one of the village elders, as I call her, shall not be impressed, give me a, there are two paths, Maire, and you seem to be going down the wrong path. So the first 2 years of university were sort of like a wee bit of a blur. And then I worked in Belfast City Council for a year, and then I went back into final year. And when I went back into final year, I got like 82 in my first assignment. And I was like, do you know that imposter syndrome? 82? What? Hey. I was thinking, I couldn't get that again. But then I started to do really well. And I got a first. So my daddy came up, didn't know what it meant, was delighted because his sort of war cry was, you'll never get a degree in basketball. So he was delighted, he came up, and it was very emotional because he was sort of thinking, you know, this is me, Kathleen, I've got them here. And I suppose for me it was also a light bulb moment because then I realised what those people had done for me. I got to there and matured and I thought, oh my God, I wouldn't be here without those people, and I want to teach. I want to make a difference, and I really want to teach. So taught for 20 years, different schools. And then in 2012, my daddy died. I just couldn't cope. My heart, it was just like, he was the constant, and my daddy died in 2012, and then a year later, I got the head teacher job, and he never lived to see it, and it's probably one of the regrets that I have that he never, but the village rallied round, and of course, my Aunt Clet, she didn't even know where I was teaching, but she took me out because somebody told her it was great that Maire had got this new job. So 9 months into the job, I didn't know what I didn't know. So I was so excited about getting this head teacher job, I didn't realise the school had significant challenges. It had a wonderful staff, but the challenges were huge. So being the very sane person that I was, I decided to hop on down and see my daddy down at his grave and say, Daddy, I can't cope. I can't cope. You're here, you're not even helping me. I'm up there, I'm in this job, I'm out of my depth. And I just cried sore. I just thought, what am I doing? So that was on a Monday. I'll never forget it, in March. And then on the Friday, I got this email from the Department of Education saying, Dear Maire, your school has just secured £3.4 million. I was like, bleh. I was like, so of course, first phone call, Anya, I was down at Daddy's grave and I was telling her that I wasn't doing really well, and then I got it. And Anya says, you were doing what at Daddy's grave? I said, I was down at Daddy's grave crying, and she said, then when she got the sort of the hang of it, by the way, Anya went on to do really well. She went to Trinity and became a counselling psychologist and has spent her life counselling me. And she now has no patience. So she has no patience for me anymore. And she said, it's probably serendipity or something else, but don't be reading too much into it. And I was like, right, okay. So then the school started to do really well. There were great practitioners in it. We were able to galvanise just a great momentum. And in 2017, just as I said, I won the UK Headteacher of the Year award. And I don't say that in a boastful way. I say that because there were so many people that helped me. And that just wasn't in the village. Lots of people that I came across were willing to share best practice, they understood that I wanted to help other children, and therefore, when your desire is genuine, I think you get genuine people around you. So, what's the learning? The learning for me, I suppose, has been always be yourself. I try to be my authentic self. And we had this gentleman over, I think he was part of the Conservative something or other, the day that's in it. And when they arrived at the school, I thought, he must be very important, because you know those people that tuck up their sleeves, they were with him. And it was a Land Rover, and I said to the ones in the staff, he's very important here. So he came in and he was chatting to me and he said, listen, you know, you've done great things in the school, it's been turned around, it's doing very well, very successful. Can you tell me what has been, you know, if there was one ingredient, what would it be? And I said to him, being totally normal. And then I met him a couple of months later, and he says, are you still being normal? I says, I'm trying my best, So that's one of the things, being totally normal. Not being afraid to ask people for help. You know, I think none of us know it all. I still don't know it all. Our vice principal's here, I lean heavy on her. They say, put better people around you. I'm doing my best to do that. And also, I think the learning for me is that your circumstances don't define you. Where you are from should not define you. And I think as educators and as people who are just ordinary people in the audience today and beyond, you can make a difference. Could you smile at a young person? Could you actively listen better? Could you not judge them? Could you think, do you know what? I could help them. Because see, if that didn't happen, I wouldn't be here. And I'm proud to say the village were me. Thank you.